Rock Bottom Reacts UFC 323 Dvalishvili versus Yan 2 with a banger, crazy outcomes all across the card. Obviously, the disappointing co-main with the injury. Yan reclaiming his belt. You even had the fight of the year contender on the prelims. You couldn't ask for any better of the card. Here's my recap, starting with the first fight of the card, which was Muhammad Naimov versus Marian Santos. And we started this card off good, and then I got every single fucking fight wrong on the main card. But oh well. I picked Marian Santos. I picked him by KO, and he got the job done by KO. The first two rounds, pretty boring, uneventful. Naimov was doing his best to kind of dull up the action a bit and take Santos down. But in the third, just one straight right hand was all it took to send Naimov packing. And Marian Santos mixed weight, though, so you can't give him too much of this victory. So, yeah. Santos, we started off good, 1-0. Mansour Abdul Malik versus Antonio Tricali. It started off really good, actually. I don't think I got a pick wrong all prelims. Yeah. No, I definitely did, because I picked Marvin Vettori. Mansour Abdul Malik versus Antonio Tricali. This was a really quick fight. Abdul Malik just went out there and just fucking took him down, destroyed him, and then just choked him out with a standing guillotine choke. And Tricali was so tall that his back was arched in a weird way, and he was being held up by the choke. It was a really brutal submission by Abdul Malik. Good win. See him back in early next year. Give him a step up though, because he's on a little win streak. He's 9-0, and there's not a lot of prospects at middleweight, so good win from him. And cut Tricali, dude is fucking garbage. Iwo Biranowski versus Ibo Aslan. Now this was fucking crazy. Start to finish. Okay, let me just start. Iwo runs across the cage, instantly grabs a hold of Ibo, knees him to the body, and then short shots trading. The instantly is, both guys are throwing hooks. Iwo rocks Ibo first. This is like a tongue twister. Ibo goes down, gets back up, and Iwo's looking for the finish. And as he is, Ibo comes over the top with a big overhand, really similar to Benoit versus Dariush. This was fucking crazy. I actually can't. You have to watch this. This was 90 seconds of just death and misery. Anyways, Ibo sends Iwo face first, ass up. I thought it was over. And then he fights back, stands up, and Ibo's going after him against the fence. Iwo in southpaw just lands a short check right hook, sends Ibo down. Couple follow-up strikes, and this was literally 90 seconds of just the best fight I've ever seen probably this year. I was just rewatching this over and over again, a couple days after it happened. This was a crazy fight. I'm excited to see Iwo again back in there if he's going to go like that every single time he fights. He literally ran out there, sprinted, boom, instant knee, clinch, overhand, hook, hook, hook. Even though he got caught by Iwo and Iwo isn't that good, this was a crazy fight. I mean, really can't put it into words how good it was. This is my fight of the year for sure. And it was only 90 seconds long. So hopefully we see more fights like this in the near future. We move on to this. This was also a crazy scrap, not as equal as the other one because Ibo got a knockdown. But Edson came out there to scrap. Went out there, was throwing body kicks, but Turner was just too good on the outside. And when Edson starts taking damage, when he backs up in circles, you could see it in his eyes, he just doesn't take the punches the same how he used to. There was no moments where I was hold on, now Edson might be able to win. And, Edson, man, he's been in the fucking UFC for so long. It's crazy. And let me tell you something. Let's pull up Barboza's shit. Barboza has been in the UFC trading wins and losses since 2010. Dude's been in here since I was 4 years old. I was 4 years old when Barboza was debuting in the UFC, and dude's still fighting. He's 39 years old. What left is there to prove? He's on a 3-fight loss streak. Turner, I'm not the biggest fan of him because he misses weight a lot and he's a weight bully, and he just got this favor for no reason against Barboza, but he looked good himself. Good finish. Just sucks to see a legend go out like that. Everybody roots for the crafty man, Barboza, but good win for Turner. I don't want to see him in the rankings because he just got fucking destroyed by Bahamondes literally a year ago, and then he retired and now he's back. So weird mindset from Turner. I would like to know more about that little retirement. Maybe it's because of his really bad record in the UFC, but we move on to this fight. Now, this was just real frustrating to watch, man. Marvin fucking Vettori is on a skid of the lows of the lows of the lows in the middleweight division. This dude, back in 2021, fought Adesanya for the title, and then ever since then just became the middest contender of all time. Has only beaten Costa and Delidze after losing to Adesanya. got destroyed by Whitaker, got destroyed by Cannonier, took so much damage, and then lost to Dvalishvili after beating him, lost to Brendan Allen, and now for this might be it for Vettori, man. He just doesn't go in fights. He only throws a 1-2. The first round, he was doing okay, but, dude, every time Ferreira landed, his head would go boom, boom. It swings back. I don't know how Vettori is still alive after some of the shots that he ate. He even took a clean spinning elbow in the third. Vettori, man, he has the best chin of ever in all of MMA. Never even been dropped. I think even Cannonier didn't even drop him. It was like a little wobbly leg moment. But yeah, even then, you got the best chin of all time and you only throw a 1-2. He wasn't mixing it up until the third round, and by then I was like screaming at my monitor. I was like, go Marvin, go! He could have won for sure. He just didn't do enough, and that's just been the story of Marvin Vettori in these past couple fights. He just doesn't do enough. Lets the fight slip away from him. Good win from Ferreira. Let's see him fight a ranked guy next. He's on a little win streak. He knocked out Rodriguez. That's an insane win. I want to see him fight a ranked guy next. We move on to the next fight, which is the start of the regular prelims, which was this. I called this to a T. I said Ziem would win via second round elbow or knee, and he gets it done via second round TKO via elbows on the ground. Exactly how I thought the fight would go. He was better than Zadikov in the clinch, and up close and on the outside. He was just better all around than Zadikov. He really couldn't get started. Zadikov is tough matchup for Nazim. The tricky thing with Nazim Zadikov is his fights are super fun and entertaining, but you got to really look at who he's having these super fun and entertaining scraps with. Like, he took Borshev to a draw, and looking back, that's not too good. The Bonfim fight is a good look. The Moda fight is rough because Moda's a guy that lost to what's his face? He lost to Torres, and he also lost to Jim Miller, which Jim Miller losing to Jim Miller in 2022 was not a good look for him. I just think Ziem had the better resume out of the both of them. And it proved this in this fight. Ziem is really freaking good. I don't know what's next for him. Definitely needs to be in the rankings. Dominates Zadikov in the grappling and the clinch. Eventually gets the elbow, as I said before. We move on to this. I picked Barber. I'm doing great so far in picks. So I'm 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 4-1. 5-1, and then this makes it 6-1. I picked Barber. I didn't really care about this fight. It was fucking boring. Like how there was an illegal up kick from Korean Silva, which should have gotten a point taken away. And that's about it. We move on to the next one. I got this fight right. Thank God. It looked like McKinney was gonna put Duncan out cold, but McKinney spazzed out again, and then just looks like a shell of himself after hurting Duncan once. He has him up against the fence, throwing hooks, uppercuts, and eventually Chris Duncan weathers the storm, starts breaking. Terrence McKinney pushes him up against the fence, and then boom, elbow in close, literally sends McKinney down onto all fours, and then Duncan just lands little fucking annoying shots. He definitely could have gotten a TKO here, but he just, instead of landing powerful, violent, fight-ending shots, he just goes like 30 times. Obviously, he's the fighter, and I'm not the fighter in this situation, so who am I to say anything? But those little pitter-patter strikes that he was landing weren't, like, constituting a finishing, like, a justifiable stoppage, like, at all. Like, it was literally, like, that over and over. It's not going to finish a fight, you know what I mean? If I'm Duncan's corner, I want to see, like, way more, like, boom, he could have kneed the body, too, when, McKinney was down against the fence, could have kneed the body. Wind up on your ground and pound. Like, seriously, like, try to fuck this dude up that you just walloped really big with an elbow. But other than that, insane win. I mean, this is about as good as it can get. Just being a little nitpicky, I'd like to see a little bit better ground and pound work from Duncan. But gets it done, goes to guillotine first, and then as McKinney starts defending it, he switches off into a slick anaconda choke. The angle of it was nasty. McKinney's neck was at like a 45-degree angle to his body. This was a really good fight while it lasted. All these fights have been good besides the Macy Barber one. And yeah, I get this pick right, and we move on to the next one, which is this one. Thank God I did not pick Grant Dawson. I switched my pick to Manuel Torres last second because I watched Dawson's first loss, and then I watched the Bobby Green loss, and Dawson can't get hit by power punchers like Torres. I would pick Drew Dober to finish Grant Dawson right now. I would seriously pick Drew Dober to flatline Grant Dawson. It's tough, man, because Grant is such a good grappler. Insane. I mean, and this guy goes on some crazy win streak in the UFC. loses to Bobby Green, and then gets a rebound against Selecki. And then this is his best, like his big moment again. And man, it just sucks seeing this for Dawson, but Torres looked good. I mean, I said that he had a jiu-jitsu weakness, and he did not show that at all. Didn't get taken down once. Super athletic takedown defense. Didn't even look like he was getting tired at all, which was a super good look. And eventually, he just lands a super crisp combination that sends fucking Dawson down to the ground in the most hilarious, comical way possible. Finishes it off with ground and pound. Insane win from Torres. I want to see Duncan and Torres and Ziam get ranked, guys, and then maybe see some matchups between them. I mean, these all are lightweights that are on insane streaks. They're all looking really good, all getting finishes. So lightweights in good hands, and we move on to the main card, which is Jan Blachowicz. I didn't get a fight right the rest of the card, so let's tell my record while it's so good, which is 6-1 for everything, and then I got all 5 fights wrong, so I went 6-2, 6-3, 6-4, 6-5. I went 6-5 overall. This fight, man, round 1, tit for tat. I thought I was going to be correct about like tit for tat, like kickboxing match between these two where Guskov couldn't really land anything big. But after the first round, Yan clips Guskov with a jab, kind of takes the better of it, and I gave round 1 to Yan. Round 2, Guskov comes out and he's blitzing in a bit more, and he just fucking wallops Yan with a straight down the pipe, sends him down, and then stays on top for the whole rest of round 2, landing devastating, visibly damaging ground and pound, cut open Yan. Definitely warrants a 10-8. I agree with the decision. At first I wanted it to be Yan, but you gotta think, a knockdown plus 4 minutes of control time and elbows where Yan was visibly like reacting to the shots. Definitely a 10-8 in round 2. And then in the third round, Blachowicz comes out, their crafty vet, man, and just pieces up Guskov. It was a good round 3, and then at the end, it was really competitive until the last minute, and Yan really started to pull away. And I thought it was more of a slip, but after the replay, it was like a short inside right hand from Blachowicz, sends Guskov down. They both got a knockdown apiece. This was a great fight. It really blows for Blachowicz being as old as he is. Let's pull up his record here. Blachowicz, man, draw to Magomed in 2022. Might have beaten Pereira in 2023, but they gave it to Pereira, which, oh well. And then I thought he beat Olberg, and then he gets another draw. This is 4 fights in a row that could have possibly gone to Yan. Really upsetting for him because he's 42 years old. If Yan still wants to fight, I would say run this back, and then if he wins, you have to give him like 1 fight to the title. I would say run this back and then do Yan versus Yuri if Yan pulls it off, but I don't think so. I think Guskov, if they do run it back, will be able to find that shot to put him down in the second round and maybe have a little bit more urgency in the ground and pound to finish Yan. But it sucks, man, seeing an old crafty man vet. I love Jan Blachowicz, man. I've been watching him on the come up for a long time. I remember picking him against Rockhold, and then he gets that right hook on the exit, and then he beat Anderson. It was just a crazy rise. One of my favorite 205ers of all time because he started off the UFC like on his 7-fight like losing streak, like win 1, lost 1. Just sucks to see. But the draw, I mean, it's better than a loss. Draw, so it's not the end of the world. And we move on. Man, Talbot looked so good in this fight. I thought there was no way that Peyton Talbot could improve his wrestling in less than a year. Look at this. So Talbot fights Barcelos January of this year, where in this fight he gets taken down and dominated throughout the whole fight. 9 minutes of control time, and he literally looks like he's wilting. And then he fights an Olympic gold medalist in Henry Cejudo and just fucking destroys him, dude. Cejudo had moments, but it was all Talbot this whole fight, and I'm so impressed with him. It really sucks because this was an undeserving matchup, and now he's going to jump the gun big time, which is a big problem in 135 right now. But let's start with the first round. In the first round, Henry comes out low kick. Low kick again. Talbot's feeling it. But it's very evident that Talbot can find the chin of Cejudo, and he can find it often. I mean, look at the activity here. 156 total strikes, 134 significant. Dude was piecing Cejudo the fuck up on the outside. Straight shots all day, knees up the middle, even landing some crazy elbows in the clinch. Talbot looked like a complete MMA fighter out there. Insane win. Round 2, drops Cejudo really bad. I think he's the first one to ever drop Cejudo. And then in round 3, he has the moment where he points down in the middle and they scrap. This was also a banger of a fight. Clean sweep, 30-27 across the boards. Insane win for Peyton Talbot. This is a really good win on the resume. Down the line, when Talbot is fighting in the top 5 or maybe even for a belt, I don't know if he'll get it that far. Cejudo will be an essential win for just picking him in general. A wrestler, an Olympic gold medalist, stopped almost every single takedown, got taken down once. And then I even forgot, round 1, he gets an inside trip on Henry. And then in round 2, he blast doubles the shit out of the Olympic gold medalist. I mean, complete all-around performance for Talbot. Totally made me eat my words. I did not pick him at all to win this fight. I thought it was too much too soon. But we move on to this. This was upsetting. This was really upsetting. Tatsuro Taira TKO's Brandon Moreno in round 2 after a weird first round where Moreno holds a submission kind of for the whole time. Taira looks bigger than Moreno for sure. Underestimated the muscle mass of Taira. He is a big 125er, which is good because I want to see him fight Van next, spoiler alert, because I don't think Pantoja will be back. And he will be so much bigger than Joshua Van, like crazy size difference. Anyways, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Round 1, Tatsuro Taira is doing good on the feet, a lot better than I thought he would. He has a good straight right hand. His whole game around his right hand is really solid. He uses it to get to the single leg, and from that he likes to get the back, and he's so good at that. Moreno is a really good scrambler, and off the bat he jumped submission and kind of stalemated the action for like 4 minutes. Taira didn't really get out of that triangle until like the last 30 of the round, and then he landed big ground and pound. It's a real tricky round to score because what do? Do you score the submission position for Moreno? Which, if you think about it, I'm not even sure if it was that locked in. But if you're like a judge and you don't know, it's just a weird way to score the first round. But anyways, round 2 comes out, and Taira's doing okay on the feet. He's doing really good on the feet for as long as it was on the feet. And then he shoots the takedown, gets it, and then he's on the back. In my prediction video, I said that Taira has a big possibility of getting Moreno down and getting the back and just winning based off of control time. Moreno was stuck, dude. He couldn't do anything once Taira got on his back. And I watched that Royval fight with Taira, and he had troubles doing that. And Royval is an elite jiu-jitsu guy himself. So this Taira guy is a real issue. Moreno's hip to the rear naked chokes and all the submissions that Taira's putting up. But eventually he gets the double hooks, gets the body triangle on the back, and flattens out Moreno, and he just starts wailing shots on him. And after about 5 unanswered shots, they stopped it, and it was a way premature stoppage, in my opinion. It sucks to see, because it didn't even look like Moreno was in that. It didn't look like there was a sense of urgency, like, oh my god, I'm about to get finished for Moreno. It was literally like Tatsuro Taira starting his big round and pounds. This might open up a finishing sequence. Like, this looked like the start of the finishing sequence. And before we saw more, Herzog stepped in, and that was it. Insane win for Taira. I want to see him fight Joshua Van next, which, speaking of Pantoja versus Van, man, I had goosebumps going into this fight. I was so excited all week. They get out there, and it looked like it was going to be a scrap, dude. But Pantoja throws a head kick, like within the first 30 seconds. Josh catches it and kind of treetops him a bit. And Pantoja just plants his arm a little too straight. Boom, dislocation right there. Hopefully there's no ligament damage. Hopefully there's no tears or anything, because that could happen with dislocation. And I'm not sure what the fuck Dana White's talking about when he says it's his shoulder. Like, that dude is a fucking idiot. Yeah, it was just a real shitty way to lose your belt. I hate this so much, dude, because Pantoja was so close to being the GOAT of flyweight. He has one of the best runs in the modern era, just to be ended by a freak fluke injury. And now he's not going to be back for a long time, and Pantoja is a guy who likes to stay active. So, where do we go from here? Obviously, we have to run this back. I think you have to run Pantoja versus Van back, but I don't think Pantoja is going to be back until maybe mid next year or late next year. That dude fucked his elbow up bad. I mean, just watch it. He like dislocates it and it twists. Oh, it's such a bad look. So in the meantime, early January, I've been hearing talks that they want to do Tatsuro Terra versus Joshua Van, double Asian matchup. In Japan. They're looking in for arenas in Japan. That's not set in stone, but that would be fucking awesome. I mean, when's the last time we've had an event in Japan? I know we go to China a lot, like once a year. But yeah, that'd be good, reaching out to kind of Eastern Asian audience. It's just a real shitty way to win your belt. Van was on the cage acting like he just fucking knocked bro out cold. It was just, you can't win on any party here. You know what I mean? Like, you can't win if you're Pantoja, because you just fucking broke your arm, lost your belt. You know what I mean? There's no good to take out of that. And then you can't win if you're Joshua Van because you just won your belt in the most flukiest way possible. It's just real shit situation. Then we move on to the main event, which saved the whole card. Insane 5-round scrap. Also fight of the night contender, but that Iwo versus Ebo fight is just too good to ignore. This was one of my favorite title fights. This is the best title fight of 2025, for sure. Best title fight of 2025, Merab versus Petr Yan. Petr Yan, 4 rounds to 1, just gets his win back against Merab. We start with round 1. Merab's out there, he's striking a bit more. He looks okay. Round 1 was definitely Merab's best round. But, you know, Yan always starts slow. He's doing a good job with his framing defense. He always keeps his chin tucked. He stuffed so many takedowns. It's just hard because Merab instantly said, listen everybody, I try to make the fight entertaining, you know, for the fans. And I felt like it was a bit of cope, but other than that, I thought Dvalishvili handled the loss, but handled the loss pretty well. But Yan was so defensively sound this whole fight. Slipping and ripping round 1 and round 2, just countering Merab as he came in big time. We get to round 3, and at this point, I think Merab's only gotten Petr down once, and Yan got more takedowns than Merab. This was as good as a rematch you want if you lost the first fight. I mean, Yan completely improved. I thought Yan wouldn't be able to improve that quick, mainly because of his age. When was their first fight? Their first fight was in 2023, I believe. Yeah, 2023, March 11th, where Yan, you know, maybe it's because it's his, like, last championship bout, so he rose up to the occasion, but in Yan's contender fights before this, he did not look this elite. Yan really stepped up his game, and his kicks, dude, his kicks were good too. In round 3, wallops a southpaw fucking rear body kick right to the ribs of Merab, and Merab goes, oh, he gets a huge reaction out of Merab. Easily gives that round to Petr. It was like an even worse round 5 Sean O'Malley Merab moment. And then, dude, it was just a shutdown after that. Round after round. I was so impressed with Yan. You got to run the trilogy. And I think they run this in like March or April next year. And I'd be super excited. Overall, I did so bad on the main card of picks. Over 5 on the main card. But then I went 6 for 1 on everything else. So really can't complain about that. 9 out of 10. What a way to end off the year. This is the last pay-per-view ever. My fight of the night is this, obviously. This was fucking insane. My finish of the night was probably the same fight. I mean, this fight was like so crazy. I literally was just watching this today at work just because I needed to get happy. So finish of the night and fight of the night to these guys. And then I'd give Torres a 50K bonus too because he came up big.